Hello and welcome to the final battle of the winter 1740 turn between Prussia and Russia in the snow-swept fields of Poland. Once again, the battlefield is covered with heavy snow, which will hamper the movement and firing ability of all the units. Here's the battlefield. It's a fairly wide open field with a creek crossing the width of the battlefield. A small town and a field with stone surrounded by stone walls. Prussians have 23 SP, consisting of 9 musketeer regiments, 3 grenadiers, a Jaeger unit, and militia, broken into 3 brigades with artillery, supporting artillery. Their cavalry consists of 4 dragoons, 3 cuirassiers, and 2 hussars, also broken into 5 brigades. And the 1 cavalry unit also has a medium horse battery attached. The Russians have 11 SP, broken into 6 musketeer regiments with a grenadier regiment, 1 dragoon, 2 hussars, and 1 Cossack cloud unit. And here they are sitting on the board, not yet quite deployed or organized into their brigades. Since this was a big battle, we decided to take a video of the battlefield after it all was taken care of, so we don't have ongoing movement pictures as we had done in previous battles. Here's the setup. Here's the Russian army. Cavalry is all massed on the left flank with infantry holding the town and behind the river. Then there is all of the mass amount of Prussian army coming from the other side. So after turn 1, it's fairly slow, not much to do. Just had cavalry advance forward. The infantry along the river advanced to cover the southern flank of the river. And the Prussian army just made a general advance with all its troops along the entire front. Prussian cavalry along the right flank did a little bit of maneuvering to try to swing out further off the baseline. After the second turn, again, cavalry is moving forward. The cavalry is charged with Russian cavalry is charged with trying to sweep the Prussian cavalry from that flank. So they're beginning to move into position. But the Prussians unlimbered 2 artillery batteries there to their front, which will play a role here. You'll see very shortly. Again, artillery keeps moving forward. Russian cavalry keeps moving forward. The Prussian artillery fired upon the Russian cavalry there. Russian infantry holding the river, and that unit that was on the flank formed into column to try to move back towards the town. Again, the rest of the Prussian army advances. After turn 4, here we had an abortive charge by the Russian hussars. The 1 unit fell just shy of the Russian cavalry, and as well as the 2nd unit ended up falling back due to fire from the Prussian artillery. Here's a big giant mess. The Prussians ended up doing some countercharging, pushed the 1 unit back in retreat. Although, as you notice, the Cossack cavalry unit basically ended up on the flank of the Prussian line of cavalry, while the rest of the Prussian army continues their advance towards the Russian lines. Turn 6, Russian cavalry ended up routing. Some more movement. Prussians starting to finally cross the creek. Infantry is continuing to move up. Although during the charge phase, the Russian Cossacks that were on the flank charged that unit, routed it towards the rear, ended up capturing 2 artillery guns, and also hit the same unit in the rear a second time, and caused it to rout further. So that was a pretty hefty blow to the Prussian right flank. It kind of threw them into disorder. Here we go. That right flank, there's another charge that went on with the Russian Dragoons against the Russian Dragoons. They got hit from the front and the flank and ended up having to rout out of that after taking pretty heavy casualties. Cossacks kind of pull back, try to reorder themselves. Again, there's the right flank there. Russian lines solidifying with the infantry. Units are starting to get into artillery range, so we're starting to have an exchange of artillery fire with one another. That one fur right Russian unit did get into line while the Prussian army continues to move forward. Again, the cavalry flank, the one dragoon unit was there, or as a hussar unit actually ended up able to rally, so it didn't rout off the board. Had to pick up some stuff off the ground that had fallen, but continuing the back and forth counter battery fire. Also, the Prussian infantry moved up close enough that the artillery started firing upon the infantry. And again, because it was heavy snows during this turn, all of our movement was cut in half, and all the firing ranges are cut in half. So everything had to get really close before anything could happen. Missed turns 10 and 11 and 12. Basically, not much happened with the cavalry flank. There's some reorganization. The Cossacks did retreat off the field. They didn't rout. They evaded out the field. The small town, got reduced to rubble. The artillery attacked it, and they started to move into the town to try to attack that flank. The infantry did close up. They were able to start exchanging infantry fire amongst one another. There you can see the results. 51 casualties to the Prussians and 37 to the Russians. The Russians needed 38 in order to roll army withdraw, so they didn't quite make it. So what happened was both sides ended up having to retreat. Both sides lost 3 SPs. The Prussians retreated into the Duchy of Warsaw, and the Russians retreated into Lithuania. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.